It's now time for this week's energy update with Dan McTeague, Senior Petroleum Analyst at GasWizard.ca. Take it away, Dan.
Well, hi, Nathaniel, and thank you. Wow, what a week. We predicted this was going to happen. And while one can say OPEC, the reality is it has a lot to do with years of underinvestment and the narrative in this country, in the United States, in Europe that says no to fossil fuels. I mean, the reality here is that OPEC shouldn't be blamed for what's happened. This is really the result of the United States artificially trying to pump oil that it could have otherwise had it not been so quick, the Biden administration in particular, to kill the Keystone XL pipeline. Think about it. 1 million barrels a day would probably already be flowing into the United States and as a result, the rest of the world, and would have probably stabilized oil prices. We'd be back in the $60, $70 range, not the 90 threatening to go to 100. And we certainly wouldn't have allowed OPEC to be emboldened by, its decision to cut back 2 million barrels. However we parse this, we have no one to blame but ourselves. And as a result, we're going to see record prices, not just for gasoline continued here in Canada, in places like Vancouver, that of course is home to and really admires high taxes for fuel in order to achieve those green outcomes. We're likely to see diesel prices go through the roof. I've been very concerned about this for some time. There's a lack of diesel production. The United States doesn't have a lot of heavy oil, it has light oil, and what heavy oil it had, it released to a large extent in the foolish decision by the Biden administration to get rid of half of the inventory in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. By the way, a reserve that they bought from $30 to $50 a barrel, now going to have to buy back at double that price. But we'll let the Americans figure that out. In the meantime, the Canadian dollar continues to struggle, and there's a number of reasons for that. Glad to see the Bank of Canada finally admitting Canadians are responsible for this made-at-home inflation. I can tell you the devaluation of the Canadian dollar, the lack of purchasing power is adding to the price of everything. That's where your inflation is coming from. And so whether you're paying $2.42 for a liter of gasoline in Vancouver, you're now pushing to $1.85 for gasoline in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, or whether you're going to be pushing to $1.75 a liter by the end of this week in Ontario, $1.85 or $1.90 in Montreal, and pretty much the same in the Maritime provinces. All of this can be very much, understood in the context of a country like Canada that refuses to build or isn't permitted to build pipelines in which its energy industry, the third largest provable reserves in the world, are hamstrung. Interesting to note, some organizations, some other climate group, well-funded internationally by foreign actors, came out and said, oh, the oil industry, it gets $15 billion in some kind of generosity from the federal government. I want to point out that it's actually the other way around. The oil and gas sector in Canada provides net to the federal, provincial government and municipal governments in this country about 20 to 25 billion net dollars a year. The kind of stuff, that pays down debts so that governments can go around spending it with abandon, as we're seeing at the federal level. But beyond being tongue-in-cheek, it's an industry that could be doing doubly what it is doing now, providing energy to the rest of the world, helping Europe, and helping Canadians. Our purchase power has been severely eroded by short-term decisions by politicians in North America. It's making it impossible for banks and other institutions involved with monetary policy from resisting the temptation to raise interest rates. Something, of course, Canada and the United States is going to see yet again at the end of this month. And unfortunately, none of this is going to end very well. Diesel prices, as I mentioned earlier, probably going up about 15 to 20 cents a liter. Gasoline on average, 5 cents a liter. I say 20 cents because diesel isn't just about transportation, trucks. It's not just about airline fuel. It's not just about mining and farming, and some of that being used even for fertilizer. Diesel, of course, is the fuel that runs the global economy, and we're going to be hitting a heating crisis, a heating cost crisis at the end of this year into the next, for which governments are going to have to start to rethink their idea of carbon taxes and other taxes applied so that people can make ends meet. I'll leave that for the politicians, but for now, it's pretty clear that we're into an energy cycle in which the prices are going to start to go back up dramatically. It's going to be painful, and it's something I think many here in my place in Toronto have to think twice about. Nathaniel, that's it for this week. We'll talk next week. Happy Thanksgiving to you and all your viewers.
Well, thanks for that, Dan. Lots to consider. Again, that was Dan McTeague, Senior Petroleum Analyst at GasWizard.ca.